Hello everyone, welcome to another Versus video. I am Braun-Duin. I am joined again by
Chris VanMeter.
And today we're going to be battling some more Modern.
Yep.
I'm going to be battling with Melira Pod, format powerhouse.
Big surprise.
One of the best decks in the format. It is a big surprise as I have only been playing this deck for the past like 5 months. So.
Yep.
What are you playing with?
I'm going to play in Tarmo-Twin. So Todd Anderson and Brad Nelson have been championing this deck ever since Mr. Dickman top-8'd the Grand Prix Richmond with it. There was one version in the top 8 of the last Grand Prix in Minneapolis that was Modern, so that is the version that I'm going to be playing.
Yeah, it was actually the Pro Tour that Dickman top-8.
Oh, it's the Pro Tour, okay.
Yeah, a bunch of top 16s at the GP Richmond. I don't think it crested in the top 8. But yeah, hopefully this will be an interesting matchup.
I mean, Modern always is. Cards are powerful, you can die just out of nowhere. So.
Yeah, I could die to a million fairies. He could die to a million points of murderous red cap. Crazy
nasty
things could happen.
goblin.
So yeah, hopefully it's a good video. Stay tuned and enjoy. All right, to start things off, we're going to play the old patented poison game to see which one of us.
This time I'm not going to look.
See which one of us gets to start things off. All right, he's looking. All right, I think I'm just going to do this. We'll see how that works out. Got him. Got him. All right, I will play first. It's just too good. Speaking of too good, this hand is not too good. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it, and hopefully it pans out for us.
This hand is playable, so I'll keep.
All right, I'm going to shock myself and play a Noble Hierarch and say go.
We'll bolt the Hierarch. Bolt the bird.
Well, he had the bolt, which was about the worst possible for us, so go.
All right. So here, I'm just going to play a Scalding Tarn and pass.
All right, well, I'm just going to play Kitchen Finks.
And we're going to fetch and go to... Yeah, I think I'm just going to get an island here.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but we'll find out.
Feeling this is getting remanded.
Yeah, we'll be remanded.
All right, go.
And we'll draw for our remand. Draw for our turn. All right, well, I'm going to start out with a probe and go to 17.
So if he did not have turn 1 bolt, our hand was insane, but unfortunately he did. Made our hand much worse.
Yeah, your hand actually would have been very good if that Hierarch didn't die. All right, so we'll draw off of the probe.
But they do always have it, so.
Every time. So I will... Do I want to? No, I can't do that yet. Alright, so this is why Serum Vision, I don't like Serum Visions. Alright, so we're going to go to 14.
16. Oh,
Right,
you're 14.
I think I'm going to get a shock.
All right, you're 14 then.
I'm going to get... a Stomping Ground.
Our charge is going to kill him real fast. All the
I
damage
hope
he's doing to
not.
himself.
And I'll Serum Visions.
Sure.
That's what we drew, and we scry 2. And I think we're going to top bottom. I actually don't mind one of those.
And play a Tarmo-Twin.
Yes. And that'll be your turn.
All right,
So,
deck.
I had a lot of options on that turn, and I think I sequenced some things a little incorrectly as far as like lands that I'm fetching and the way that I cast my spells. But I hope that it doesn't.
All right, so I'm going to play Kitchen Finks and go to 20, and then I'm going to play a tapped Razor Verge Thicket and pass the turn back.
So we have creature, instant, land, sorcery, so he's a 4/5.
He's a 4/5. He's a big old boy.
All right, here we will draw a card. We'll attack for 4.
I'll go to 16. There's really no reason for me to block here, so.
We'll play a land and another Tarmo-Twin.
Sure.
And then I'll pass.
Draw. I'm going to pay 2 life and cast Phyrexian Metamorph. I'm at 14.
I'll remand the Metamorph.
So gross.
Draw off the remand.
Play birds, I go.
Yeah. Okay. You have 4 cards?
Yep.
Okay. So we know he has a voice, a Pontiff, and the Metamorph, and 1 unknown. So I think that we want to just attack with these 2 Tarmogoyfs.
Alright, well I'm going to block 1 because I need to not die. If I just take both of them, he can just bolt, snap bolt me, or double bolt me, or any number of things. So, block 1.
Alright, so you'll take a total of 2 damage then?
I'll take 4 to 10 and then persist to 12.
Yeah, so a total of 2.
Yep.
Okay. So here we have to try to decide what the most dangerous things are that he can do. And copying his Kitchen Finks with the Metamorph is probably it. Although I don't think that that's going to be all that dangerous. I think that I would rather just kind of hold off. So I can just play this and leave up this. Or I can just sit on this. And I'm not sure which one of those is going to be the best. I also could just use this to stifle his mana a little bit more and then play this, which is kind of aggressive, but I think we're actually fine with that. Yeah, I actually like that line a little bit better. So I'm going to shock.
Okay.
I'll snap Bolt the Birds.
Okay.
And then play another Tarmo-Twin and pass.
Jeez. That's just disgusting.
It's funny, I was saying before we started that I don't think Goyf is going to end up being very good against you, but I take it I was wrong. I wasn't looking at the tempo aspect of the deck, just looking at it as far as at a combo.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you have a draw that's like
Just like
double remand, double bolt,
multiple Goyfs.
just having, like, because if you didn't have the Goyfs this game,
It's
you're just giving me infinite time
yeah.
to catch back up. Not drawing land is killing me. I really need to. I need to be able to cast any spells. I'm not getting there. I just have to cast this. So I go to 10, then back to 12 because I'm going to copy Kitchen Finks.
Yep.
Go.
Okay. so you have to block there. Yeah, I'll pay 2 and probe you.
2 voices,
Two
a Pontiff,
voices.
and a Crisali Pro Mage.
Okay. Alright, draw from the probe. So if we hit a land or a removal spell here, yeah, I'll fetch. I can tap down both your guys and attack you.
Alright, dead.
Yeah, those glyphs were a lot better than I anticipated they were going to be with the rest of the draw.
Alright, we are back for game number 2. This hand is like pretty unexciting, but I'm going to keep it because I don't really like to mulligan a lot of hands with this deck, especially if we have lands and spells that we can cast. Because this deck actually has a lot of issues sometimes with just having like unplayable hands. So I'm pretty much keen on keeping anything that's like playable.
That makes sense. This hand is not as powerful as my last hand, but we do have a lot of interactive cards and lands to cast them. So I'm going to keep this hand as well.
Go ahead.
Oh man, no mana guy?
Nope. Can't bolt my mana guy this time.
Not this time. Okay, so in a deck like this, I'm honestly not sure if it's right to use these early to get information on what we're looking for with this card, or if we want to be holding these for times that we're going to try and combo them out. These pod decks don't really have a lot of ways to interact with my combo in game 1, so I don't think it's right to hold it in situations like this where I don't have any pieces of my combo. So I think I just want to get as much information as possible. Well, and he does have an Abrupt Decay, so we're definitely not comboing this time. Thicket, Chord, Cemetery, Rebel Arc, Forest, Decay. Alright, well it looks like we're both doing a whole lot of nothing. So I'll draw off of my probe.
Okay.
We're going to fetch and get an island, and then we're going to Serum Visions. Probe is really good in this deck. I'm surprised he only played 2 at the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Especially since you're a 22 land deck with only 4 Serum Visions to help smooth.
Yeah. It's also good with Snapcaster too.
Yeah. Alright, and then we'll Serum Visions.
Sure. While you're doing this, I'm just going to fetch because
Yeah.
I'm doing it end of turn anyway.
Alright, so we're going to draw a card off our Serum Visions, and then we will scry 2, and I'm not really excited about both of these cards. However, they're both, fine cards, and we definitely need this anyways. So I think that I just want to keep them both on top. Yeah, we'll keep these both.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
Alright, I got a Godless Shrine because it gives us both access to double black and double white depending on what we draw. So, go ahead.
Yes, you didn't play Voice of Resurgence.
Did not draw a Voice Resurgence.
Alright, so we draw a card. And we don't want to fetch away the card that's on top of our deck, so we're just going to play a Sulfur Falls and pass.
Draw. Alright, well, I'm just going to play Kitchen Finks. He probably has a remand, but we're not doing anything better, so.
Let's see here. I have to decide if I actually care about the Kitchen Finks. So use this Thicket. Yeah, 5 cards in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know all the cards in his hand. Court of Calling, Cemetery, Revel Arc, Forest, and Abrupt Decay. I'm not sure that remanding here is exactly where we want to be. We might be better suited just killing the Kitchen Finks. Which, yeah, I'm actually fine with that. So you can have the Finks.
22. Go. Or should be 21.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was just-
I'm gonna bolt the Sphinx.
23.
Let me draw a card. Alright, so I'm just going to,
So you're at 15?
yeah, and we're gonna snap bolt the Sphinx.
Okay.
Good.
Alright, deck, give us something, give us anything. How about a Ranger of Eos?
That's a good card.
It is a good card. So here I think we just get a Noble Hierarch and a Viscera Seer. Noble Hierarch so that we can attack through a Snapcaster Mage, and Viscera Seer to be able to scry through all this removal. Might be better to just get double Noble Hierarch, but I think I just like having more protection. Viscera Seer. And I'll ship the turn back to you.
Okay. I'll attack.
Alright, I'm going to take it. You're 21. No reason to trade off.
Your turn.
Draw. Not bad. So here we'd have to be wary about the potential for him to combo us. So that's something that we do need to keep in mind. But I'm going to go ahead and lead with Viscera Seer.
Okay.
All right, so if he doesn't respond to that, then he probably doesn't have much removal. Cast a Noble Hierarch.
So you have 4 cards left in hand?
Yep.
So I know he has a Chord, a Revelation, or a Chord, Revelarch, and an Abrupt Decay. So he can Chord for 3. Yeah, Hierarch's fine.
Second Noble Hierarch.
That's fine too.
Combat.
I'll cast Pestermite.
Sure.
I'll tap Ranger of Eos.
Response, Chord for 3.
Sure.
Get Orzhov Pontiff and Wrath your board.
Yep.
You're up.
I'll fetch.
14.
I'll pass the turn.
Okay. And we'll draw for turn. It's a good one. Oh, it's okay. I guess it's not that great. It's not terrible, though. Go to combat.
cast Deceiver Exarch.
Results.
Type Ranger Bios.
Okay. Now we can actually kill his Deceiver if we want to, but we have to sack 2 of our creatures to do so. I guess well, I'm going to start by going ahead and attacking with Orzhov Pontiff for 3. Double Exalted.
Let's see here. So if I block, then he can sack the Pontiff to haunt something, and then sack that to kill my Deceiver Exarch. But the problem is that we know he has a Revel Arc, so he's just going to be able to get all of his creatures back. So I'll just take 3 and go to 11.
Okay. I'm just going to cast Scavenging Ooze.
Oh boy.
Pass the turn.
I'll fetch to 10.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to respond to your fetch. I'm going to exile your Pestermite and your Snapcaster Mage. That way, we just grow our ooze out of bolt range right away. Puts me to 23. That way, we don't have to worry about him bolting our Scavenging Ooze. We still have 3 mana available to use it. Bolt's also exiled.
All right. Oh, that was real dumb. I forgot I had Spell Stand in my hand.
The old spell snare trap.
Yeah, just
We've all fallen into that one.
forgot it was there.
Fallen into that one a million times.
I mean, I don't think it changed anything. I'm not likely to win from this situation.
Yeah.
I'll pass the turn.
All right. So end of turn, I will exile.
Yeah, that was real bad.
I'll exile Kitchen Finks and Gain a Life.
Sure.
So 24. I'll exile Serum Visions. And that's it. I want to always leave a mana up so he can't do like Bolt, Snap, Bolt if I tap out or something. Just no reason to give him that ability. Draw for turn. It's a pretty good one. Actually, a really good one. Go to combat.
Okay, cast Pestermite.
Sure.
Tap your Scavenging Ooze.
Sure. And I'll send with a 5-power Ranger Abios.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that I have... I could stack my deck and not win from this point. Since you have Pontiff with Viscera Seer and an Abrupt Decay in your hand.
Okay. Also drew Witness for Cord.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right, we are back for sideboarding. As for myself, I sideboard a lot against this deck, and a lot of it depends on what they do. So my experience playing against the Tarmo-Twin deck is that they generally speaking board out some part of their combo, but fortunately enough, cards like Dismember are just great against them, even if they don't have the combo. So I still want to board in as much removal as I possibly can have. And usually between Dismember and Abrupt Decay, along with like our other disruptive elements, it's good enough to keep them from just twinning us. And then I want Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is great against cards like Anger the Gods that they always bring in. Just very good at just... I like to hit Snapcaster Mage is usually my favorite thing with Thoughtseize because it's one of their best cards. But it's just powerful against any kind of deck that has a combo element to have Thoughtseize. And then Ooze is very good against both Snapcaster Mage and Tarmogoyf. Sin Collector good because they usually have a lot of spells, especially post-board. And then Forge Tender, I've actually not played with Forge Tender yet, but Forge Tender is very good at countering Anger of the Gods, which can be an issue. And in a pinch, it can also counter Bolt, Forked Bolt, Electrolyze, Flame Slash, whatever cards they're actually playing. Burnt and Forge Tender is going to be able to counter those. As for what I'm trimming, I cut down on 2 Finks. You always have to leave some number of Kitchen Finks in the deck, just for potting purposes, but you can trim down in some matchups. Here I like to cut 2 because it doesn't attack through Goyf. If they have Ooze, which a lot of the decks have, it's not good against Ooze. Gets swept up in Anger of the Gods. It's just not that great against this deck. I like to cut 3 Quarter Callings because even though it's very good for me in that last game, a lot of times what happens is post-board they bring in like a lot more removal spells and they're going to like try to wrath you with Anger of the Gods and just kill all your guys with Snapcasters and Bolts and things. And when all your creatures are dying, Quarter Calling becomes increasingly worse because you just aren't able to cast it. You need creatures to be able to cast Quarter Calling, but you also don't want to flood the board against Anger of the Gods. Metamorph just doesn't have a lot of like great targets to copy out of his deck. And also gets splash damage hit by cards like Ancient Grudge too. And then I like to board out the combo, so I board out Melira and Viscera Seer because it's very hard to combo through a deck with a ton of removal. Pontiff's actually okay. It kills Pestermite and Snapcaster Mage, but that's basically it. And it's a card I never want to draw. Like, I want to be able to cord for it in some situations, but usually I can get away without having it in my deck, and it's not like a great draw. And then Kasali Pride Mage does get Splinter Twin, but like I said, a lot of times they board out a lot of the Splinter Twin combo, and it's easy for them to combo through Pride Mage anyway, because they can just kill the Pride Mage before they combo. So, and I'd rather have cards like Dismember. So yeah, that's what I am boarding in and out of this matchup.
Makes sense. As far as for myself, as much as, I talked about I felt Probe was good in the deck before, I don't think I want it here. Post-board, he's going to have a lot of cards that disrupt my combo. So, knowing when he has it isn't going to be super relevant because most of the time he's going to have it. So I'm just going to have to play around it at all times anyways. Plus, the games are going to be a little grindy, and I feel like I've been doing a lot of damage to myself with my lands and the Probe, so I kind of want to not do that. Cutting the Spell Snare since they don't counter very much, and I'm shaving a piece of each off of the combo just because the game's going to go longer, and it's just not really going to be possible just to twin them on 4 anyways.
Yeah, you don't want to go deep into a game with like 3 copies of Splinter Twin in your hand or something.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention is even though I'm boarding out Viscera Seer, a lot of times people board out Ranger Vios when they board out Seer. I'm still keeping Ranger because I brought in Burnt and Forge Tender, and I want to be able to have a situation where, like, I think you have Anger of the Gods, and I have 5 mana, and I can just play Ranger, get Forge Tender, play Forge Tender, say go. And since he has protection from red, you never have to worry about him being able to... They can never anger you with a Forge Tender in play unless they, like, Cryptic it first or something. So.
Plus, like, Ranger Vios is just, like, a good post-anger card anyways. Like,
it is.
If I anger you before you can cast your Ranger, you can just always play it and then just rebuild your board afterwards.
Yeah, and maybe it's right to keep in Seer and cut like a mana guy. I'm not actually positive, but just because like they always die to bolts and things. But sometimes I feel the deck's like a little too slow if you don't have the mana guys
Yeah.
on turn 1.
So we're obviously bringing in the Anger of Gods, which are good against him. Spellskite to protect our combo and some of our creatures. 2 Grudges to kill pods and a Dispel. Like I know he's boarding out the Court of Callings now, but you know most of the time you're not going to know if they're going to have it or not. And this can protect our combo and counter a Court of Calling.
Yep. Counters Dismember as well.
Yep. We're back for game 3. Get to be on the play this time, which is kind of sweet. And this hand isn't too terribly exciting, but I'm still going to keep it.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same about our hand. Not exciting, but at the same time, we have this card, which helps with this. And we're going to go ahead and keep it as well.
Good.
All right, that was a good draw as well. I'm going to go ahead and play Noble Hierarch and say go.
All right. Well, we're going to go to 17 and multi-hierarch.
All right, it is a dead Hierarch.
Play Sulphur Falls and pass.
Okay. Go to 18 and Thoughtseize you.
All right. So here I can. I think I would rather just. It's interesting if I want to blow this here or not. So you have 5 cards?
Yeah.
So if he has another mana guy, then using this is not very advantageous. I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to remand it.
Okay. Play Noble Hierarch. Say go.
Yep. Okay. One here and one there.
Okay.
And I'll draw.
Yep.
And then it's your turn.
Well, Thoughtseize you again. So this is an interesting one. If he draws like Twin to go with it. So right now I kind of want to just take Tarmogoyf because we could just very easily lose to Tarmogoyf beating us down. And the rest of his hand doesn't really do anything. At the same time, if he draws Twin, it's bad for us to have taken the Goyf because he has Spellskite. It's a tough nut to crack, that's for sure. I think I'm just going to take Goyf and hope he doesn't draw Twin. 15 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play Misty Rainforest, play Noble Hierarch.
Another mana guy?
And I'm going to go ahead and... I'll go ahead and fetch as well. I don't know. I don't think that it matters, but they could have something random like Shadow of Doubt, so... I'll just fetch now. Go.
Well, that was a pretty good draw.
Blah. All right.
I could have played both Exarch and Spellskite that turn, but I think I'd rather just build his Hierarch. Good.
All right. something good. That's not bad. Oh, thought sees you. Take your X-Arc.
Lucky.
Go.
I will fetch.
So I was worried about our opening hand of triple Noble Hierarch, of getting Anger of the Gods. We didn't even leave a Hierarch alive. Just killed them all.
Man. Maybe I didn't need to.
Well, I mean, you didn't know, so.
Yeah. You always just gotta bolt the bird. Play this island that he knows about, and then I'll pass the turn.
Oh, I know all about that island. Ooh.
No, you have 2 black mana. I still think it's right to do this anyways, and you're dressed up.
Okay.
And we'll hit this thing.
Overgrown Tomb.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Guess I should have done it in your upkeep, but didn't speak up fast enough.
I'll dismember your Pestermite, paying full cost.
You have 2 cards?
Yep.
Alright, I'll redirect it to this musket.
Yep. Go. So I paid full cost there because we're not like winning any kind of a race, so we have to find a way to get rid of this Pestermite.
Alright, we gotta redraw.
All right.
Draw card. Scry 2. Top and bottom.
Uh-oh.
Attack.
10.
Your turn.
Top and bottom, he says. All right, something real good.
Was it real good?
Not really. Sin Collector. Sulfur Falls, sure. Go.
Don't have Abrupt Decay.
Nope. That's gross.
Yeah. Just the game played out really weird.
Ah, my next card is Murder Strike Cap.
Ugh.
Would have murdered that Pestermite. All right, we are back, and I'm on the play, and oh, wow, is that... I don't think I've seen this card before. What does this card do? It's actually very good against them, so I'm excited to see it. And I'm going to keep.
Oh, man. This hand is actually really good if I had a red source. I have a redraw to it, though. Yeah, I'll keep this hand.
You would. Noble Hierarch, 18 life. You're up. Yep.
Hmm. Do I want to draw these cards? I think that I do.
Both of them. Jeez.
Actually, I just want this one.
I'm a Thought Scour you.
I hope not.
Blue mana from my Noble Hierarch.
Go ahead. Please don't Thought Scour me. It's a really good card.
Oh, that's a good draw too. Jeez. I think I'm gonna hold off on that though. Maybe I shouldn't.
Gonna jam your Birthing Pot so I can Ancient Grudge it?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to 16. Or no, I'm just gonna get a Swamp. I can just do that. 17.
You need a Sin Collector me?
I don't want to do too much damage to myself because we can just die to Bolts and Pestermites. Has
Lightning
happened.
Bolt's a good card.
Huh?
Lightning Bolt's a good card.
It is
Can't
a
believe it was
good-
legal and standard for a time.
Actually, it was printed twice recently.
Yeah. What were we thinking?
We weren't thinking anything.
That's
We
true.
didn't design it. And I'm going to play Wall of Roots, add a mana, and Voice of Resurgence. Go.
Well, that is not too shabby.
It's on the opposite of the shabby end of the spectrum.
Well, that voice resurgence definitely messed up my shiz.
Good.
We're gonna go to 17 because I need some red mana. And the damage has already been done, so it's a little too late here. But now we will bolt this Noble Hayek.
Boo.
And it's your turn.
Oh. Alright, well. 2.
15.
And I'm just going to jam Linvala, Keeper of Silence.
Well, that's a card.
Go. I hope we don't get angered. What make me angry?
Let's see here. You have 2 cards in hand?
Correct.
I have a feeling that I need to just play this now. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Draw. That ain't bad.
No card I haven't seen in any of these 4 games so far is Flame Slash.
You've not. Oh. Probably be good
I would
against
like to see a Flame
this thing.
Slash. Yeah.
12.
So instant sorcery land creature, so Glyph is a 4/5. Conveniently, still dies to dismember.
Very convenient. Gaffney Township.
Man, boy, am I glad I killed that wall, Fritz.
Hmm. So I don't really want to open myself up to getting angered. So I'm going to play Birthing Pod, 15. Pod down to 13, sacrificing Wallow Roots. Give myself an Evan Irwin. And I get to get something that costs 3. So I could get Kitchen Finks here. But if he has Anger, we get blown out. I can get Sin Collector here, but I'm more worried about cards like Snapcaster Mage than I am spells, since he's already played like a million spells. So what I'm actually going to just get is Eternal Witness. And I'm going to return... I think I'm just going to return my Wallow Roots. Or, sorry, my Voice of Resurgence. Wallow Roots might be fine, too. Because it lets us, like, accelerate, and also blocks Goyf. But I think I'm just going to get Voice here. That way, if he angers me, I can just start the chain again. And I'll pass the turn.
So we're pretty far behind here. So I think what we actually want to do I'll attack with my Tarmo-Twin.
So I can gang block his Goyf here, but if he has a removal spell, I lose both my guys for just his one removal spell. Which might not be the worst, since we do have like a Voice to start the chain again. But I'm actually just going to take 4, go to 9. It puts me into triple bolt range, but he's already played 2, so he'd have to have like double snap and another bolt or something. And I'm just going to hope that he doesn't have that.
So I'm going to shock down to 10. I will pass.
Okay. Draw. Anything? Good.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, good to continue. So he probably has like a Pestermite type effect or a Cryptic Command. So we do have to watch out for that. There is reason to want to use Pod right now. Just to play around that, so like he can't tap down our Pod or anything mid-combat. Or bounce it with Cryptic Command. But at the same time, I don't care that much about potting this turn. My board's already pretty good. So I kind of just want to, and I don't want to pod into, like, there's nothing I really want to pod into. Like, I could pod my Linvala into a Spellskite, which actually, or into a Shriekmaw, which actually wouldn't be that bad. Or like a Revelurk, which also wouldn't be that bad. But I don't have a lot of good force to get with Eternal Witness right now, since I already have Linvala in play. So I'll just go to combat.
Okay.
Alright, well, I guess I should, yeah. So I didn't want to cast Voice pre-combat, because if he has Cryptic Command, he gets to counter and tap our team, and we just get blown out. So I'll go ahead and attack with everything here. Attack for 8, puts him down to 2. Or would put him down to 2.
Okay, so I can do this here, and so it makes it so that you have 3 cards,
Yep.
one of which is a voice. So the option is I can do this and either untap my Tarmogoyf or untap a land and hold up for this. And I think that that's what we want to do. So I will cast this.
It resolves.
I will untap my Breeding Pool.
I have a response for that. We're at 9. There's 7. I'd be dead to a bolt.
This member being dissed.
Yeah. I will dismember your Tarmogoyf in response, paying 2 life. Okay.
Buck here.
Okay, so you take 6, go to 4.
Yep.
Eternal Witness down. I feel like our Voice of Resurgence is going to get remanded. But we're going to go ahead and try it anyway.
Yeah. I'll drop.
Sure. And I don't want to shock myself down to being... I don't want to shock myself because I'm not going to pod, so I'm just going to say go. Yeah. I think I messed up somewhere on that turn, but we'll see. It's hard to play around so many different cards.
You have one card in hand now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know Voice is all that he has. Okay. So what is the best line here?
To concede.
No, I can't do that.
I like shocking yourself and casting Splinter Twin onto Super Exarch.
That would be very good. Obviously, I don't have that. I would be in game 5.
Would we?
Yes, we still would. I would just rip that card up. I'm at 4. I wish you had killed my Deceiver Exarch like I was planning.
Yeah, I couldn't kill the Deceiver Exarch or we just died of Tarmogoyf plus Bolt. So.
Yup. So I have this that I can use to buy a turn, but he is just going to attack before casting his Voice of Resurgence. Which I think is probably just going to be fine. I just can't attack here. Yeah, that's fine. I'll pass.
Okay. That was pretty good. So this kills him in the air alongside Gavany Township, but I feel like he has Cryptic Command. I'm pretty sure he does, just based on him passing with four mana up, not doing anything.
I did that last turn as well.
It's true. That's why I attacked before playing Voice.
Oh, man. Braun-Duin, you are a powerful magician.
So I'm going to cast the card Thoughtseize.
What a draw. Wow, really?
Yep.
Well, that means I'm not dead to Lenvala in the air now.
True.
Which makes me think that I should do this instead, actually. Well, no, you could attack me with. Oh yeah, you can't get to red cap. Is there a 5-mana creature that can just like kill me? I don't think there is. I'll respond.
All right.
I'm gonna snapball you.
All right, that puts me down to 4.
Your Thoughtseize resolves.
All right, you. Hmm.
Actually, I don't think this line is correct. Oh well.
So we have to take okay, so I think we can beat Pestermite and Anger the guys here pretty easily. I don't think that we can beat. See, can we beat? Yeah, we can beat both Pestermite and Anger. We cannot beat Cryptic Command, I don't think. Well, maybe we can, but there's no reason to play into it. So I'll take Cryptic Command. So I drop down to 2.
Yeah.
Use Anger and Pestermite. So now I will play my voice, pot it, get another Evan Irwin, get Kitchen Finks.
Yeah.
So now I can get Kitchen Finks. I go back up to 4. So I'm not dead if he top decks a Bolt. And this makes my first Evan Irwin token lethal, so he has to block it. So I can attack with Linvala and this lethal token, which will put him down to 1. He has to chump. And now he won't, even with his Pestermite to tap down one of my blockers, I can still block with the other creature, and he can't Pestermite plus Bolt me. And if he draws the land for Anger, he still just dies to Linvala next turn. So he has to draw something like, well, he can Pestermite my Linvala next turn, but...
Yeah, that doesn't do much.
Buys you maybe a turn.
I have to block here, otherwise I'm dead.
Okay, so you go to 1, and I'll pass the turn.
Yep, it's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there was a different line that I could have took. Maybe you used the Cryptic Command there,
You get a counter plus bounce.
and then just recast the Linvala.
Yep.
Maybe I'm still fine with that, because then you're dead to a Bolt.
Not the next turn, but the turn after.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting game.
Sick Thoughtseize.
All right, we are going into Game 5, and as was pointed out by our director in between games, I could have actually potted my voice token into a Hierarch and killed CBM that last turn.
Yep. I probably should have just Cryptic to counter the Thoughtseize and bounce the token.
Yeah, or bounce the Linvala.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I mean, I think it's probably better just to bounce the token, but who knows. But I get to go first.
That's just so lucky.
Just the luckiest. And this hand isn't terribly exciting, but we have a couple good interactive cards, and I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand too. It's a little gross, but if we draw decently within the first 2 turns, this hand's very, very good.
Stomping Grounds, go.
Draw. Not it. Okay. So here I'm going to fetch and get Godless Shrine, because it's actually it lets us cast basically all 3 of these. So, although maybe
gross.
Temple Garden is better. I don't actually know. I think Godless Shrine's probably the best here. We'll see.
Oh god.
I hope your hand's
17?
just all bolts, angers, and stuff. Yeah, Godless Shrine might be a mistake, but we'll see about that. Yeah, go.
I hope it is. I hope it makes it so you can never cast another spell.
Probably will.
That's probably not going to happen.
I mean, I already can't. I can already not cast any other spells. So.
All right, well, we'll play our Sulphur Falls, and then it'll be your turn.
All right. Well, draw. I will crash in with Burnt and Forge Tender.
19.
Go.
Oh, that's real cute. That's just real cuter. Play a Hinchel in Harbor. And I'll pass the turn.
I'm sure you will.
In your upkeep, I'm going to cast Pestermite.
Okay.
I will target your Godless Shrine.
Sure. Draw.
Would you like to
boy.
attack with your Braun-Duin Forge Tender?
Oh, no, sir. Actually, I might. I don't know. Yeah. I'll drew this. I'll go ahead and attack with it.
I will block.
Okay, sure. And yeah, I'll pass the turn.
Your turn.
Fetch end of turn. Get. What do I get here? Temple Garden, I guess.
Oh man, does me have Linvala?
I know your hand's just 17 counter spells, so just bolts and counters.
And I did just block your Braun-Duin Forge Tender with my Pestermite.
It's true.
Didn't think I'd be doing that very often.
Draw. Ah.
I mean, it was probably wrong. Kitchen Finks. You have 6.
Yep. 6 of the most delightful Magic cards I've ever.
The most delightful. I will remand.
It's been remanded.
We need to draw some cards.
Go.
Oh, you drew another land? I'll fetch. Go.
Voice Resurgence.
You have 5 cards? 6 cards.
6.
Voice is fine.
Alright, so we know we get to resolve anything else on our turn. I feel like he has Anger of the Gods, though, so I don't really just want to jam that Kitchen Finks out there. I'm just going to play a land and say go. I don't want to get destroyed by Anger. There's really no reason to. I think you should just cast a Naked Snap here. I think that's just a
On the end step? Just
yeah.
Naked Snap.
I like it. I think it's strong. One of the stronger lines you could make.
One of the strongest, actually. Alright, well. We definitely want to get this guy out of here.
Yep. Saw that coming.
Your turn.
Interesting. Noble Hierarch.
That's fun.
Mono Gavany. Combat.
All right.
Attack for 3. Yeah, 12.
Was it 17?
Did I?
Everything's came into play tapped.
Why did I have you at 15 for some reason?
Should be 14 after that.
Okay. Did I miss? What am I at?
I have you at 16.
Yeah, that's why I have myself at that too.
I mean, all of my shocks that came into play tapped.
Yeah, I don't know why I have you going to 15. All right, you're at 14 now. Go. So no need to flood the board because he probably has cards he probably has an Anger or something along those lines, and I could just rest on 2 creatures and Gavany Township.
I'll bolt here.
All right, dies.
And it's your turn.
I will activate Gavany Township.
Yeah.
That's right. Noble Hierarch is going to do so much damage. Draw for turn. Ooh. Attack. And Exalted. For old 2/3 getting in there.
Yep.
Take 2.
12. Birthing pod.
Birthing Pod.
I'll snap remand.
You'll snap remand.
Yeah.
Has been snap remanded.
Drop.
Yep. Four cards around.
Yep.
Here I think I'm okay playing Kitchen Finks. Because if he does Anger, he gets rid of his own Snapcaster as well. I don't know. Maybe that's just wrong though. Yeah, it's probably just wrong. I'm just gonna pass the turn. Because he still has to deal with this pod eventually.
All Visions.
Visions results.
So I'll draw. That's a good one. I'll scry 2. And those are all right too. So we're going to top bottom. I'll attack for 2.
14.
And then it's your turn.
I'll go to 13. Over onto him.
Oh, now you have black to cast your Murderous Redcap.
Alright, untap. Draw. Not bad. think I'm going to start by just attacking for 2. Alright, so he goes to 10.
1 second, right me.
Linvala, Keeper of Silence. So I have to play Linvala this time.
That will resolve.
Okay. Plays around him having a counterspell for my Birthing Pod or an Anger of the Gods. Let's pass the turn.
You have 4 cards?
Yep.
End of your turn. I'll cast a Super Exarch.
Yep.
And I will tap your Overgrown Tomb.
Alright, I'm going to Abrupt Decay your Deceiver.
Hey, you finally saw one.
No! Alright, Linvala's down. $11.
Go ahead.
How many cards?
4.
So since he tapped our Overgrown Tomb, I'm led to believe that he has a Splinter Twin in his hand. That's probably one of the cards in his hand. There's 4 of the cards. Birthing Pod. He has Cryptic, that's unfortunate. I'm just going to keep playing cards.
You have 3 in hand?
Yep. Okay.
I will counter and draw.
Go.
I'll fetch.
Okay, you're at
9. And a Tarmo-Twin at any point would be nice.
Yeah, go ahead. Would be pretty sweet for you. A Burnt Fortune Hunter would be so good.
What do you think I blocked?
I'm just kidding. I mean, I think it was I wanted to trade there because I didn't have a removal spell for you if you drew a Splinter Twin.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't have Splinter Twin. So.
Yeah. Serum Visions.
Oh, Visions.
Sure.
Discard 2. I'll top bottom.
Sure.
I think that's right. Yeah. I'll attack.
Block.
Sure. Go.
Kitchen Finks.
I'll snap Cryptic.
Okay.
Counter draw.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. So I'll just play this voice afterwards. Say go. I don't know if voice is better than Finks or not, but
I'll attack.
I'll block.
Yep.
I guess Finks is probably better if our plan is just to block anyway.
Go ahead.
Spell skites.
The old spell skite.
That's not terrible. Hopefully. Thoughts you?
I'll bolt you in response.
8.
These were like both in my hand when I blocked your Burrington Forge Tender, by the way.
Okay.
So you're at 6.
I'm at 8. Shouldn't I be at 8?
You take 2 from your Thoughtseize.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's not good.
I mean, it could be right to hit your token there, but I don't think it is.
Go.
Tarmo-Twin. I will anger. Go.
Ranger of Eos.
Man.
What are you talking about? Post anger plays?
Yeah, it's a good card. Resolves.
Okay.
I think I have some more Snapcaster Mages I can draw.
Get a noble and a bird, actually. That way.
Ranger Heals is such a good magic card.
Yeah, I'll get a noble and a bird so that I have the ability to attack through his spell skite and also block things like pester mites. Go. There's no reason for me to run them out there in case he
End of your
draws.
turn. I'll cast this.
Okay.
I'll target Gala Shrine.
Replicated pester mite response.
And I'll send it here.
Yep.
All right. Come on. You put him in the deck so you can draw him at times like this. Let's see. You can hit me for...
6.
Yeah, I'll attack.
4.
Your turn.
Ooh, buddy. Oh boy.
Yeah, if I send the bolt at your token, I don't have to use the anger there.
Kitchen.
That's pretty ambitious.
Finks.
Resolves.
Alright, I go to 6 life.
Did you draw a Birthing Pod?
No.
Because that'd be bad.
No, I drew Kitchen Finks.
Oh, good.
So do I... I don't know if I want to deploy every single one of my creatures here. I think I want to hold off on at least one.
Yeah, you don't want Snapcaster Mage to be devastating.
Yeah. So Maybe I hold off on both of these, actually. I actually think I hold off on both of these.
6.
And I'll just pass the turn. This may be wrong, but in your upkeep, I'm going to dismember your pester mites. Jeez.
Unreal.
Yeah, that was an unreal game.
Tarmo-Twin, at any point, you just actually can't win.
I mean, I had this the entire game.
Not fair.
Yeah. All right, we are here for the conclusion of our long and grindy Tarmo-Twin versus Birthing Pod matchup.
It seems like that's how most games go when one person is playing pod.
Not always.
I mean, like if you have the hand that just like combos them, but most of the time it's going to be pretty grindy.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it can definitely be grindy, but like sometimes you just get destroyed. Sometimes you destroy your opponent real fast. I've definitely had 15-minute rounds with this deck before. So.
Yep.
But for the most part, yeah. 2 grindier decks going at it, and one thing I really like about the pod deck is it can go toe-to-toe with, like we saw in Game 5 where neither of us were really deploying much, and you had like 2 cryptics, you stare envisioned a bunch of times, and I was still able to go toe-to-toe with you just by virtue of every card in my deck being a natural 2-for-1 for the most part.
Yeah, like this twin deck thrives on like 1-for-1 and tempo advantage.
Yep.
And in games like that, where you just like don't have a threat that you can stick, you're just going to be way behind against the pod deck because, like you said, every card is just a natural 2-for-1.
Yeah, and I think I made a couple of I definitely made a few mistakes in that game. Like one, I should have probably just traded my Noble Hierarch for your Snapcaster like earlier in the game. That would have let me cast the Kitchen Finks and not get blown up by anger. Yeah, I think that would have been a better line for me to take. And I probably should have played the Voice before the Finks towards the end there. That way, when you snap Cryptic it, I can just play the Finks as a follow-up, which is like a little bit better than Voice. They're both basically the same card there, but I can gain some life off of Finks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And if I have Gavany active too, you actually have to anger it away.
Yeah.
Because I can then just block and then Township to get the counter back off again.
Pretty sweet interaction.
It is, yeah. Actually, we didn't see a lot of the interactions of this deck. I mean, I did side out the combo against you, but we didn't get to see too many. I guess the threat of Viscera Seer, Orzhov Pontiff, we got to see that in game 1.
Yeah.
Also, courting in response to a Pester Mite, things like that.
Now, I know that LSV is championing a version of this deck that does not have Melira in it and focuses more on just all the natural 2-for-1s alongside the Archangel of Thune Spike Feeder combo. I noticed that you don't have either of those 2 cards in here, but you still have the Melira combo.
Yep.
Do you think that this is better than that, or just something that you haven't explored very much yet?
I think this is still better. So 90 to 95% of games you win just naturally. Like, I never comboed him in this match, and that's like, you're almost never going to combo a deck like Tarmo-Twin. So, because of that, I think it's easy to want to not even play the combo period, just cut it. But I actually disagree with that a lot because, one, Melira is sometimes just very randomly good. I've had a lot of games where, maybe my Murderous Redcap got exiled or something, or I don't have a Viscera Seer or whatever, and I just have a Kitchen Finks and a Melira, and I can just sit there and block against like, Zoo or whatever. Just block their 3 power creatures just every single turn of the game, and it just keeps it just doesn't ever die. Or sometimes you can. I had a game where my opponent had an Aven Mind Sensor, and I potted my Kitchen Finks with a Melira and play like 5 turns in a row, and I bricked every time, but it didn't matter. I was just gaining 2 life every turn doing that. Also, there are a lot of decks where you actually do combo them. Like for example, Storm, you're racing to combo them, gain infinite life as fast as you can because they can't beat it. Decks like Affinity, your game plan is comboing them. Like, you want to use all your cards to keep them from killing you until you can assemble the combo, because they don't have a lot of interaction with you. Against decks like Tron, I think comboing them is like your best bet. So there's a lot of decks where comboing them is like very good still, and the threat of it actually makes people play bad against you a lot of times. People will snap kill Melira on sight, or they have to like hold open removal at all points of time because you could theoretically combo them out at any point in time. And just having that threat, I mean, it's like your deck. Like a deck with Pestermites and Tarmogoyfs without Splinter-Twin would just be actual garbage.
Yeah.
But you don't really Splinter-Twin your opponent that much. You actually win with like those cards fairly frequently because like the threat of comboing, your opponent's like, well, I'm gonna Abrupt Decay his Pestermite instead of his like 5/6 Goyf because I'm worried I'm gonna die, and then you just die to the Goyf instead. It's kind of the same thing where like the threat of like comboing makes people play differently, play worse against you, or not even necessarily play worse, but they have to play defensively.
Yeah.
And then you can just kill them with normal cards after that.
Now, if that is the argument for keeping the combo in, whereas like against the decks that you are comboing them, it's just a race to combo them, wouldn't it make sense to also have Archangel of Thune and Spike Feeder as an additional combo to increase your chance of actually comboing out the decks that you want to combo out?
There is that argument. However, that combo's much slower. It is a faster combo in that you only need 2 cards, whereas with this you need 3. But the issue is that the Melira combo is much easier to assemble because it is just like a 1 mana guy, 2 mana guy, and either a 3 or 4 mana guy. And you have like Ranger of Eos to get your 1 mana guy. And it's easy to, and if you have like a Birthing Pod in play, it's easy to like pod into a Kitchen Finks, then tap your 4 creatures and your 2 lands to cord for,
one of the pieces
that you're missing. And combo pretty early in the game, but like the Kitchen Fink or the Archangel Spike Feeder combo is just so much slower because it's just very hard to actually get Archangel into play in a reasonable time frame. And the other issue I have with it is while Archangel's a good card, I wouldn't want to cut any of the other 5s because like Shriekmaw is just so good and Reveiller's just integral part of the deck. And Spike Feeder is just so bad by himself. Like he's just so bad that I don't like having a card that's that bad by itself. And while like you can argue the same for Melira, you do have 4 Finks and a red cap, so it does just combo with 5 cards naturally, even without like a Viscera Seer or whatever.
That makes sense. When I played the deck last, I had both combos in it, and there were quite a few games where I won by just having like a mana accelerant draw and playing Archangel of Thune on turn 3.
No, Archangel's great. Like Archangel's very good by itself, especially against decks like Jund. Like if Jund picks up in popularity, then I would definitely want that combo just because Archangel is so good against Jund because they can't decay it, they can't bolt it. It kills like their Lilianas and their Chandras without them being able to block it. And it like pushes your guys out of Anger of the Gods range. It's just so good against them. But yeah, unless that deck is like super popular, like Archangel, while good, I don't want to place. Like I would honestly consider playing Archangel and just not even having a Spike Feeder.
Fair.
And you can actually still combo kill them with Viscera Seer, Kitchen Finks, and
Archangel.
Yeah, and Archangel. You don't actually just those 3 cards is actually also a combo.
It's pretty cute.
So I've considered just playing the Archangel by itself, but haven't pulled the trigger.
So I know that there are quite a few PTQs going on this weekend with this modern format.
Yeah.
I would actually recommend the Tarmo-Twin deck for anybody that is actually just wanting to get into Modern. I feel like it's the type of deck that, I don't want to say it's going to be forgiving to people that are unfamiliar with the format, but I think that much like when I recommend Sneak and Show to Legacy beginners, I think you want to just play a deck that has a very, very high power level that can just kill people who aren't paying attention or who happen to draw bad. And I feel like Tarmo-Twin is one of the few decks in Modern that can actually do that without having to put a lot of planning into your game plan.
Yeah, that's fair. I also think the deck's like just inherently powerful too.
Yeah, it's just very, like, I mean, it has Tarmogoyf, Scavenging Ooze. Well, this doesn't have Scavenging Ooze, but they were playing Ooze before. You have the Splinter-Twin combo, Cryptic Command. Like, those are all just very, very powerful magic
Snapcasters
cards.
and Bolts, Electrolyzes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, what were your thoughts about playing the deck? Like, is there anything that you liked, didn't like?
I don't like only having Tarmogoyf as a plan B. I really, like, I understand why Todd and Brad had advocated to cut Scavenging Ooze, and that's why people shied away from it, because it was just too rough on your mana.
Yeah.
But I want another plan B. Like, you have to have something else. Like, maybe play like Thundermaw Hellkite or something. Like, you just have to have some other plan B besides Tarmogoyf. Because Abrupt Decay is already just insanely good against this deck. Your plan B also getting killed by Abrupt Decay I don't think is very smart. So maybe it could just be, some awesome 5-drop that you could cast.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, some sort of sweet 4-drop or 5-drop.
Yeah, like Thundermaw ends games very quickly when combined with Bolt and Snapcaster Mage. So,
Maybe even something like Jace Architect of Thought or whatever too.
yeah,
I mean, just a card advantage engine that people can't really interact with that well. I don't know.
Yeah,
Because like the deck has
definitely one thing I'd look at.
The deck has so much early interaction. It's hard for anyone to like assemble a strong board against you by turn 4 or turn 5. So yeah, having something like Thundermaw or whatever to kill them quickly, or Jace to just keep flowing with cards, or any number of cards like that could be very good.
Jace also cuts off half of the opposing Splinter Twin combo.
It does actually. Yeah.
They have Deceiver X. So just don't forget your triggers.
Yeah. On Moto, you have to click them all. So.
Oh man, I would just concede.
Yeah.
But yeah, this deck is actually very good, and I'd highly recommend it. For anybody that has been playing Pod, I think you should stick with it.
Yeah, I think Pod's the best deck, but it's very hard to play. Like, I made a ton of mistakes in this video alone.
And he top-8'd a Grand Prix with it.
Yeah, I've top-8'd a Grand Prix with this deck. I've played this deck in like 5 tournaments. It's just it's one of the hardest decks I've ever played. So many lines, and but it is a great deck. So if you do want to play it, I would start picking it up now and just keep practicing with it, and you'll get better and better as you go. I know my results went from like going 5-5 at the Pro Tour with it to going 12-3 in Richmond to top-8ing Minneapolis. I've consistently done better and better the longer I've played the deck.
That definitely is how it goes with Magic in general.
Yeah.
You can see it in Standard. People that have just stuck with the same decks are continuing to do well. I'm case in point with Jund Monsters. You can see in Legacy.
Owen Turton will top-8 another tournament with Mono Black.
Yeah, Owen Turton with Mono Black in Legacy. Jacob Wilson will just sleeve up Delver of Secrets and top-8 or win any Legacy tournament that he plays in.
Yep.
So just sticking with the same deck, the same archetype, gives you familiarity with it, and eventually you'll start putting up the results showing that you're actually getting better with it.
Yep.
So this weekend you will be in Chicago playing Standard for the Grand Prix.
Correct.
I am not going to Chicago because I planned poorly and did not look ahead to going to Chicago. But I will be more than likely in Knoxville and Greenville, South Carolina, battling in a PTQ with something like this. So again, we're happy you guys stopped by. We love playing Modern, so continue to give us some suggestions for Modern. I imagine...
And Star City Games is now doing Modern.
Yes, I was going to say, I imagine that Cedric will be a little more leeway on letting us play Modern now that we are going to be doing Modern on Sundays with our new Premier IQs. So make sure you get familiar with at least these 2 decks if you're planning on battling them, because starting in Baltimore, you'll be able to play Modern on Sunday instead of Legacy if you so choose.
Yep. But yeah, any feedback would be awesome. Next week we probably will go back to Standard. No guarantees.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see. But yeah, any feedback or any ideas of what you guys want to see? I know some people didn't want to see Pod, but there were so many people that kept telling me they did want to see it that I figured I had to play it. So
I mean, it may be a boogeyman in the format, but you can't close your eyes and wish for it to go away. Like, it's going to be there. Like, you have to be familiar with the deck. So that's why we play it. So you guys don't have to. A little Evan Irwin action there. So thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you next week.
See ya.